All right, well, hello everybody. Welcome to our November meeting. I thought maybe we could talk a little bit about the new catalog. Yeah, sounds like a plan. So did you both have you both gotten the occasions catalog yet?
No.
No.
Okay, you know it's available for download though, right?
Yes.
Okay, on the demo site. So I thought for those of us that, well, I didn't go to the On Stage. I had registered for On Stage and then found out I had to go to Singapore for business. So I called Stampin' Up and they said they could either give me a refund or they could give me everything from On Stage. So I said, I want everything from On Stage. Yeah, it's probably not. So the new catalog, and then we got, it's over on behind me. So we also got the Celebration catalog, but they've come out with an additional catalog about joining Stampin' Up. And it's the same size as a Celebration catalog. So might be worth seeing if you can find that online, if you're interested. And then this is what the book looks like that they gave.
Ooh.
Oh, it's really pretty. And then inside, they've got these funky pages. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's quite a book. I don't know how many pages it is, but I love that. And then, look at this. It's a mug.
Oh, pretty. Wow.
Isn't it pretty?
Oh.
But then let me turn it around. So it's got flowers.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. When I first unpacked it from the box, I thought, I'm not really liking it, but actually I do like it. And I like that it's like kind of warped. The rim kind of goes up and down. So anyway, I thought I'd have a cup of tea in my Stampin' Up mug.
That's awesome.
While we talk. So I just have a few things, advice to give when prepping for the new catalog release. You know that you have to, if you're going to place a customer selector, it needs to be done by November 30th so that Stampin' Up will mail out. And I will say one thing to you. Last year I didn't send out the Celebration and I didn't send out the Occasions catalog, and it affected my sales severely. So this year I am, even though I feel it's kind of like a double hit for cost as a business expense, I still think that, I'll let you know this year if it made a difference, but I haven't grown my business tremendously since last year. So to me, it's, a similar factor starting in, whereas last year I didn't send the catalogs. This year I will, and we'll see how it goes. But
so can you explain, Terry, why you thought that was a double hit on your expenses? What do you mean by that?
Because you have to pay not only for the Occasions catalog, but also for the Celebration catalog. So if I send out the Occasions catalog to 75 people, I have to then pay this, I don't think it's the same amount, but I think it's quite an expense to send it out. So I guess, if we're going to spend the money to do that, we need to make sure that we contact the customers frequently to let them know. What I usually do is after I select them and I close out my order, I send them an email advising them that I put them on my list. They should be getting these free catalogs and to please let me know. And then when I get mine, I usually have one sent to a friend. So when she gets it, she notifies me. And then I check right back into them saying, hey, I got mine. Did you get yours? I would love to hear back from you as to what your favorite product is in it. Most people don't respond back, but it still is really nice to know what they like about the new catalog. I'll say something like, what's your favorite stamp set? What's your favorite accessory? Which paper do you like? Which new, if you had if you could receive one of the product suites for free, which one would it be? Just so that I get a sense of what they're really tuned into, and then that can give me some direction for, my newsletters to them and posting ideas. Generally, what I'll do is anybody who does respond back, I will then send them a sample card idea or something by email. If I lived closer, I would send them a little package in the mail, but since I live so far away, I think that's a prohibitive cost. But I try and do something nice just for the people that respond back to me. So So the other thing is, when you know that I did the walkthrough of the annual catalog and sort of went page by page about the things that I thought were good and things that would help build our businesses and class ideas and so forth. So I would recommend doing the same thing with the occasions catalog, to walk through it page by page, become really familiar with the new products in it and some opportunities it might offer you for classes or for sample ideas and so on. And what I've started to do, and this is something I learned from Janet Wakeland, who, Karen, I don't know if you know, but Janet Wakeland is my second level upline now. And so she does some special training videos for her directs, and every once in a while I manage to get in on one of them. But what she does is she actually takes her catalog and marks right in it. Like this one says, class idea, watercolor backgrounds. So it's on page, I don't have my glasses on. It's on page 14. So there's a little tip, and on this card sample, they've got the aqua painter and they've colored in a background. So I thought, well, you know, you could take that idea and you could say, I'm going to offer a class on a technique about offering a watercolor or creating a watercolor backgrounds. And you could do 2 or 3 card ideas at your class. You could include a set of aqua painters in the price of the class, and then they would take their aqua painters home with them when they're done. So I would suggest that you walk through the catalog in a similar manner than what I did with the annual catalog. There's lots of you can make it's. There's one on page 4, and it's the birthday suite. So there's a you can make it at the bottom, and they've only got 2 cards in there, but above they offer a whole sample of card ideas. So you could either create your own. Probably I would, if I chose to purchase this suite and offer a class on it. It's called Picture Perfect Party. Then what I would probably do is maybe one of the you can make it's, and then 2 additional ideas on my own, and then show them in the catalog that if they purchase that suite, that they would have all these ideas, you know, the ones in the catalog and these 2 additional ones that they made at class. The other thing that I think is a really good draw is they have offered the Picture Perfect Party Classic Stampin' Spots. So in this catalog, they're offering a collection of 4 Stampin' Spots. You can see them here. So there's 2 collections in the catalog that offer 4 different colors of Stampin' Spots. So for my new stampers, I'm going to tell them that this is a great way to get a collection of colors and find out the ones that you like best, and that you then would want to go back and buy the bigger pad and the refill because you really love that color. So I think that's a really good tip to share with your customers, especially ones that might be, you know, have a big family, or they're single parents, or they're stay-at-home moms, or, you know, they might be on a fairly tight budget. The other thing that I did here with some demonstrators in the Netherlands is I did paper share with them. So we each purchased 2 or 3 packs of the designer series paper, and then we split it up amongst each other. And so that's something that, for those of you that live close to each other, it's either snowing or it's hailing outside. Sorry, distracted.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, here we go. Winter has arrived. So yeah. I would suggest that, you know, if you've got somebody close to you, and if I was close to you, I would organize it, but it's just too complex for me to do it this far away. But it's an idea to get a nice sampling of paper. You could get, you know, one of the 2 sheets of each one, or you could divide them into 4, and you'd have a 6x6 sample, so on and so forth. I like that idea because now I have a sample of the paper in the catalog without having to outlay the expense for everything. And then I can then take my budget and put it towards something else. So that's one idea of getting ready for what's coming ahead. Just flipping through to see if there was anything else I wanted to draw attention to. You should know that the Picture Perfect Party stamp set, birthday stamp set, was one of the sets that was given away at OnStage as part of your registration fee. And then the one that's called Heart Happiness. It's a collection of hearts. So that one was given away. So you're going to see a lot of samples starting to be generated on Pinterest and on Facebook and all of that. So if you want to be different, right, if you want to stand out a little bit, I would recommend that you look at something else in the catalog that maybe others don't have. I won a prize patrol in my absence. Good thing that I have good friends there who took my wristband and done, but that's just between you and me and the team. And the set that I won was called Bird Banter. It wasn't one that I would buy on my own, but here it is here. So I own it now. And so I started to make samples of that because I know that not everybody won that one. So again, it's about trying to stand out a little bit different from the crowd. So, and this was something that Janet Wakeland said, you know, if your customers are really engaged in some of these stamp sets in the catalog, that doesn't necessarily mean that you buy them, because they will anyway. So they'll buy them from you. And what you can do is you can buy other sets to give them alternative ideas and sort of tempt them in other directions, or buy the ones that you love, really is where I would start. And then, I mean, there is the Father's Day present, the Father's Day suite in there. I think it's called True Gentleman. It's really awesome. Now, I don't have a dad, but I still think I'll probably get the suite because I think the paper patterns are lovely, and I think the stamp set could be used for more masculine cards. So anyway, walk through the catalog and see what opportunities it can generate for you. And then feel free to share on the Facebook page anything that you think would make a good class idea, and that we can support each other. The other thing that I would recommend you do, especially this time of year, which is what I do every time one of the catalogs comes out, I look at the holiday catalog and the occasions catalog. I always look at the designer series paper, and I look at the colors that are in the designer series paper packs. And I make a list of those colors, and then I go to my color supply, and then I see how many sheets of those I have. And so when I place my pre-order in December 1st, I'll add to that pre-order packs of cardstock that I know will coordinate with the designer series paper that I'll be using in the next 6 months. So I also, because I'm budget conscious, I also then sort of scope out what I'm going to buy over the next 4 months. And then if there's a designer series paper pack that I'm not going to buy for a couple of months, then I wouldn't buy the cardstock that I would need to replenish to match that until I place the order for the designer series paper. So I try and partner everything up together, but I've started to make a list already of the colors in the designer series paper so that for December 1st, I know what I want to buy right away. And then I don't worry about the other cardstock that's getting low. Like I'm really low on some right now that it's the colors that I've been using, but I know I'm not going to be using them in the next 6 months, maybe the next 10 months. So I'm not going to replenish them. I'm just going to use my money wisely that way.
Hey, Terry, do you know, are they doing a color change next catalog? Annual catalog?
I don't know.
Don't know?
I would say it's highly likely that they are. So one of I think a couple of the designer series paper packs in here, one of them for sure has like lemon lime twist. So they're featuring some of the in colors. So what I'm trying to do is focus on those in colors right now and use up the embellishments for those. Because when the annual catalog retires this year, all of those embellishments are going to retire. Like all of the ribbons are going to go away. So this would be the time to use up your berry burst and your lemon lime twist and all of those, you know, the ribbon that were in the current annual catalog, because they won't come back in the next one, which I don't agree with. I wish they would carry them for 2 years like the colors,
yeah.
Because I never end up buying the second colors that they come out with because I'm so annoyed that I have so much left. That's my hang up because I don't use my embellishments that much.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's been, what, 5 years since we've had a color refresh? 4 or 5.
Yeah, I
Right?
think 5, at least 5, yeah.
Mhm.
So,
So do they normally, pardon me, do they normally use the past in colors on the color refresh? Do you know?
They they did this last time, but before that they usually didn't. So it's what they said though. 3 years ago at, I think it was called convention then, they said you might not get rid of all of your in colors when they retire. You just might want to tuck them away. I think Shelley said something about that on stage, and I was like, oh, that's a hint. So I did.
yeah.
I've kept mine. It's a crapshoot. I don't know. I
Okay.
just don't know. But we're getting close to the time when it's going to happen. And the last time they did it, it was really significant. I don't know if they did it. Didn't they do it for the 25th? Maybe they're going to do it for the 30th?
Oh, good point. That's a
I
good
don't
point.
know. I think they did do it for the 25th.
I think that's
And I
right.
remember
Yeah.
it was a significant change, and we were all like, yeah.
Huge.
So, yeah. So again, I would say focus on, I don't know, it's really hard. It's hard to give advice on this, but maybe focus on the colors that are in the in the occasions catalog, and then don't replenish the other ones until we know for sure. It's tough. Yeah, that's a good question though. Right, so I've already said, focus your time and your money and your efforts. Plan on what you're going to purchase over the next couple of months. I think with our pre-order in December, we can also earn the celebration
Good.
things. So have a look at the celebration catalog as well. Excuse me, and plan those out so that you can coordinate. Like there's a designer series paper in the occasion. Oh, there's a designer series paper in the celebration catalog that coordinates with a stamp set in the occasions catalog. The bottle, the bubbly chic, that one. There's a series paper in the celebration that matches that. Okay, I think that's it for that. Plan your classes well in advance, and then purchase items a month in advance for the classes so that you can create your projects. I find it's really tempting when you see what everybody else is posting to think, oh, I should have a class for that, or oh, I should have a class for this. And my advice to you would be, pick the things that you love in there and work your classes around those, and try and ignore what the rest of the world is doing. Because if you're seeing those things online, or you're seeing those project ideas from another demonstrator on YouTube or on Facebook, they're already out there. So your customers can already go ahead and make those projects on their own, or be tempted to purchase because of what they're seeing another demonstrator do. So just do what you love and let them come to you because of your style and your plan. Try and stick to your plan is what I'm saying. The other thing that is an idea that I'm going to try for this catalog is go on Pinterest and type in the name of the new stamp sets and accessories that are in the occasions catalog, and see how many samples are there. So I won the bird banner stamp set at OnStage, and I went on Pinterest today and typed in bird banter, and there were a couple of samples, and then I typed in the picture perfect birthday, and there was one sample only. So I thought, well, this might be my opportunity to get out there first and put samples out there. And so what I'm trying to do is concentrate on those 3 stamp sets that I got from the OnStage event, and really try and push out my own samples as soon as possible. Maybe do a Facebook Live, start sharing some of the things that I got and some of the card ideas that I've made, just to get them excited. I find for my history in the last 20 years as a demonstrator, December sales are terrible. Like I mean, the only sales are my pre-order for the occasions catalog, which is okay. I mean, that's my sales for December, and I plan accordingly for that each year. But I find maybe after the first week, maybe the second week of December, I have no sales at all. So I use December as a month just to regenerate, because I know that January through March are going to be very hectic. And I have another business trip in March, which is going to take me away for 2 weeks. So I need to be this year really rested and really well prepared for that. And so December's my time to get my pre-order, to get familiar with everything in the catalog, to plan out what I'm going to do for the next 3 months, make lots of samples and start posting them, and then just don't worry about the sales. Just, if they come in, it's great. If they don't, it's not something that was really high on my had to have list anyway. But one way to do that is to go on Pinterest, go on YouTube, type in the names of stamp sets and see what's starting to come out there, and then trying to do something really different. If you end up ordering sets that are really popular and you see lots of samples, try and do something different with them. Maybe do 3D or a scrapbook page, even if you don't scrapbook. You have to put pictures on there. What I used to do is just put a blank 4x6 as a placeholder for a picture, and just say, here's a layout, use the photos that you have, change the colors, use the stamp set, and so on and so forth. So just try and be a little bit different. Make as many samples using your... What?
Sorry. I was going to ask, that reminds me, it looks like they have more memories and more stuff in here. And so are they looking to expand that a bit more, have more albums and things of that nature?
I have no idea. Because I wasn't there, I didn't hear it. I don't have any of that news. I do really like the card kit that's in the occasions catalog. I definitely will be getting the Memories and More card, the card back, because it's black and white.
Yeah, I like it too.
And I think the designer series paper on the same, sorry, I don't have all the names memorized yet, or the page numbers, but there's a black and white.
I think it's page 23.
Okay. Yes, this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that designer series paper matches the Memory More card kit beautifully. And so what I'm going to do is make a ton of cards rather than memory pages, showing how you can combine those things together to make some really cool cards. So that's one of the things that I thought would be good, and you're welcome to do the same. So anytime you make something, share it all over the place. If you have a DBWS, put it on there, put it on Facebook. If you're on Twitter, put it on there. If you're on YouTube, do projects or show projects. I think there's advantages in being one of the first to share. I don't have any statistics to back that up, but the top sellers are the ones that are out there already sharing their stuff. So I'm wondering if there's a correlation between that. And then also, December is coming up soon, so it's time to update your DBWS. So I always try and put a reminder in my calendar that the last week of the month, so I got my reminder today, that this week is the week that I want to go in, and our meeting is going to end in 10 minutes. Just wanted to let you know. Oh, it says upgrade. No, stay with free. You can post some samples on your DBWS. You can do some fictitious classes. You never know, if people want to take a class, and if you get a bunch of people that want to take a class, well, then you can make the class up at that time. But I would post something like, today's the day I get, as a demonstrator, I get to pre-order from the occasions catalog, join my team, and you'll get this opportunity a month before everybody else too, or something like that. I mean, just sort of, events that you think your customers would be interested in seeing on your DBWS. So I try and do it every month. I also then will update my Facebook banner on my Facebook page. I'm trying every month to put a new banner on there. So I will probably create some cards in the next week using the new Occasions catalog, and then I'll put some kind of banner saying Occasions catalog coming to your mailbox soon or something like that, and then post some of my samples on there. So that's basically all that I can think of. Is there anything that either of you do to prepare for a new catalog coming? Anything I might have missed?
I thought those were all great ideas.
Thanks.
So
yeah, I think that the fun thing is to point out, I think in this catalog, in the occasions catalog, they also offer 2 markers together again. So I think that's really cool. You could do a blog post or on your DBWS, if you use that as a tool.
you mean the
there's
new blender?
Yeah, there's a couple of markers that are available. So, anything that you can do to encourage your customers to see that these are sort of opportunities for them to start to pick up supplies without having to buy an entire set of markers, or, so on. The same with the ink spots versus the ink pads. So, one of the other things that I wanted to, any questions on anything so far?
I do have a question.
Yeah.
And, they keep coming out with new Thinlits or Framelits in like the occasions catalog, but they don't last very long. So what's your advice on, investing in those?
Yeah. I would say invest only in the ones that you absolutely love, so that you're not going to be heartbroken. I think it's about use. So if you can create, a class or 2 using them, and you can get some people to come to that class, then you get your money's worth out of it. Or if you think that you can sell 3 or 4 of, the Framelit or the bundles, then I would do that. Yeah, it is really hard, and it's hard to figure out which ones are going to carry over and which ones are not going to carry over. Generally speaking, I find Mother's Day, Father's Day, baby, and wedding never carry over. I was surprised that Moon Baby carried over. Very shocked at that one. But that one didn't have Framelits with it. So, but generally I find that those kind of special occasion ones don't carry over, so I usually don't invest in them. The other thing you could do is, if we were all closer together, that's the frustrating thing, right? If somebody bought a bundle because they loved it, then we could get together and make a bunch of samples with it, and then you don't have to buy it, but you've got samples to share using it in the hopes that people will buy from you. So I know that you sometimes go down to Raleigh and hang out with Tracy, so maybe that could be something that you guys could organize.
Yeah, and then I noticed, this is honestly the first time I've had a chance to look at the new occasions catalog. So it looks like they're carrying over Painted Harvest.
Yes.
Is that going to be a bundle or no then?
No, it won't be a bundle. Generally speaking,
it will not.
They don't bundle them. I mean, I haven't read that page, but I did notice that the punch and the stamp set are carrying over. So
okay, great. Okay.
In the past, they unbundle them, so I would anticipate they would unbundle them. They're not going to give a 10% discount because you've already had the opportunity for that. So too bad, so sad. Yeah. Something else. The other thing is, here in the Netherlands, in the European catalog, the Netherlands catalog, some of the bundles are really expensive, and that's a deal breaker for me too. Like, really expensive. So unless it's something that I absolutely adore, and I can't, and I'm not sure that, if I'm sure I can sell a bunch of them, then I would invest in it. But I do keep track. I keep a spreadsheet going of what I purchase and how many I sell of them, so that as the months go by, if I see that one thing hasn't sold, I haven't sold any of them, and I've invested in it, then I'll put a real push on that on Pinterest and on Facebook and, my blog posts. And if I can use it on a YouTube video, I'll start really focusing in on that and make a lot more samples with it. So to try and, generate the sales.
Are we going to log back in here when this time's out on us, or are you just going to end it?
Yep, let's do that.
Log back in. Great.
Yeah, I think we have
okay. So 'cause it says 3 minutes and 55 seconds left.
Okay. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask about the new tool that I honestly haven't studied it. So, but
Stamparatus.
it looks like you could only order it for a certain time, and now that's closed. And
Yes.
so, can you explain it a little bit more? I'm confused.
Yep. So do you remember the Stamp-A-Majig?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like the Stamp-A-Majig. So are you asking about what the tool is or why they had a pre-order and then 24 hours later
Well,
stop the pre-order?
yeah. Why that? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't know. I think probably it has to do with the number of people that ordered it. Plus, they opened it up to our customers for the first time ever. So they let our customers pre-order as well as us. And they had a limited supply. And I think they got an overwhelming response. And
Do you
I
think the majority, oh, pardon me.
no, go ahead, Karen.
Do you think the majority was demonstrators or customers, or have you heard?
I haven't heard. I would say the majority would be demonstrators, but I'm on a couple of Facebook groups that are not Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, and several of them had pre-ordered it, and we're so excited waiting for their pre-order to come in. So I think it has to do with the fact that they pay cash for everything, so they don't have any debt, the company. So I think they order however many they think, and then yeah, it's frustrating.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, well, that's
So
my
when
guess.
is it open again?
Not until they're in, I think, January sometime, I think. I don't know. I have one coming, so I'll do a video of it and share it with you, but it's really cool. I think it's going to be a really popular tool. And the woman, one of the women that posted on this Facebook group has a Misty, and she has another one, and she doesn't like them, and so she's ordered the Stampin' Up! One. So that's somebody who has a lot of disposable income, obviously.
Yeah.
Have you watched the video that Carrie Cudney did using it?
I did.
Yeah, it's a good video.
No,
I mean,
I haven't had a chance yet.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And I was kind of waffling at the time, thinking, I don't know, maybe I'll just wait and see. And then when I saw the video, I thought, oh, I think there's a lot of potential for this. I mean, especially if you want to do a lot of like wedding invites, or if you want to do a ton of Christmas cards, or sort of high quantity cards. I think it's got a lot of potential. So
yeah,
I'll let you know.
So I had a couple questions.
Yeah. We're going to have to log back in less than a minute. So we'll all do that and then carry on. Anyway, go ahead, Karen.
Okay. First one, is it better to use the catalog mailing selector or send them out personally, do you think, if you have just a few?
Are they close to you or are they far away from you, the customers?
Not very far away, but I would have to mail them.
Then I would use the customer selector, because they'll get them earlier that way than they will if you wait till you can order a box of them and then mail them out.
Okay.
About maybe 3 to 4 weeks in advance. So you'd like them to have that advantage.